Have you ever noticed how some people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, seem to have more energy than folks half their age? You watch them walk with a spring in their step, their eyes still bright, their laughter still full of life, and you wonder, what are they doing differently? Maybe you've caught yourself saying, "I just don't bounce back like I used to." Or, "I feel tired before the day even starts." If that sounds familiar, I want to tell you something important. It doesn't have to be that way. Aging is inevitable, but decline? That's negotiable. The truth is, most people don't age because of the number on their birthday cake. They age because of the habits they ignore. But here's the good news. Just a few small changes, done daily, can completely shift the way your body feels and how your mind functions. You don't need to run marathons or start drinking green sludge 3 times a day. What you need is a blueprint. Simple, proven habits that keep you strong, sharp, and vibrant well into your golden years. Today, we're going to talk about 7 things you can start doing every single day to live longer, feel better, and stay independent. These aren't fads. They're real, doable actions that work for real people like you. So, grab a cup of tea, take a breath, and let's dive into the very first thing you can do today to build your longevity blueprint. Let's start with something deceptively simple, but incredibly powerful: hydration. Most people think of water as just something to quench thirst, but after 60, it's much more than that. It's your body's oil, keeping every joint, muscle, and organ working smoothly. Yet, far too many seniors live in a state of mild dehydration without even realizing it. Headaches, low energy, dizziness, constipation, these can all be signs you're not drinking enough. Your body doesn't send the same thirst signals it used to, so you have to be proactive. Start your morning with a full glass of water, before your coffee, before you eat. It's a signal to your body, wake up, it's time to heal, not just survive. And throughout the day, keep a water bottle nearby, or set reminders if needed. If plain water feels boring, try adding a slice of lemon, cucumber, or mint. It's not about flooding your system, it's about consistency, keeping your cells happy, your brain alert, and your joints cushioned. One habit, one glass at a time. That's where it starts. Now let's talk about movement, but not in the way most people think. You don't need to be jogging around the neighborhood or hitting the gym 5 days a week. The kind of movement that keeps you young is intentional, gentle, and consistent. I like to call it daily activation. That means moving your body in a way that wakes up your muscles, keeps your balance sharp, and gets your circulation flowing. Think of it like this: your body is like a machine. If you don't start it each day, the engine starts to rust. So, even 5 to 10 minutes of focused movement in the morning can completely change the way you feel the rest of the day. Stretching your arms overhead, rolling your shoulders, doing some gentle neck circles. These simple actions remind your body it's still alive, still capable. Add a short walk around the house, or stand on one leg for 30 seconds while brushing your teeth to challenge your balance. These small things may seem trivial, but done daily, they're the difference between walking confidently into your 80s, or struggling to get out of a chair. Movement is also deeply connected to your emotional health. When you move your body, you send signals to your brain that say, "I'm still here. I'm still in control." That message is powerful. It helps you feel more confident, more capable, and more energized. Don't wait until pain forces you to move. Move so you don't feel the pain in the first place. And speaking of control, let's shift to something just as important, but often overlooked: your morning mindset. Have you ever noticed how your first thoughts in the morning tend to shape the entire day? If you wake up and think, "I'm tired, this day is going to be hard," it usually is. But what if your first thought was different? What if, instead of groaning, you paused and said, "Today, I choose energy. I choose gratitude. I choose to take care of me." It might sound small, but a daily morning affirmation, spoken out loud, even just a sentence, can rewire the way your brain approaches the day. Science backs this up. When you start the day with intention, your brain is more likely to stay in a positive, focused state. That translates into better decision-making, fewer stress hormones, and yes, better aging. Your body follows your beliefs. So instead of waking up and listing what hurts, start by listing what you're thankful for, or one thing you're looking forward to today. Maybe it's your morning walk. Maybe it's a call from a friend. Maybe it's just the joy of having another day. When you reframe your mornings, you set the tone for vitality, not just survival. Now that we've looked at how you start your day, from your water to your movement to your mindset, let's keep that momentum going. Because living longer isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Your body's been woken up, the engine is running, and your mindset is clear. But what you put into your body next might be the most important decision you make all day. Because food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every bite you take tells your body what kind of day it's going to have. And when you're over 60, that information matters more than ever. Let's talk about nutrient-dense eating. That's a fancy way of saying, eat foods that do something good for you. At this age, your body needs high-quality tools to do its job, repairing cells, fighting inflammation, protecting your bones and brain. That means skipping the empty calories and going for foods that actually work for you, not against you. Start your day with protein. It doesn't have to be fancy. Scrambled eggs, Greek yogurt, a protein smoothie, even a bit of leftover chicken from dinner. Protein tells your muscles, hey, we're still building here. And that's key to preventing weakness and fatigue. Pair that with something green, spinach in your eggs, or avocado on toast, and suddenly, you're feeding your body exactly what it's craving. Don't forget fiber either, oats, berries, nuts. These keep your digestion moving, your blood sugar steady, and your energy from crashing. And here's the trick, plan your plate before your hunger decides for you. When you wait until you're starving, you're more likely to grab whatever's quick, and unfortunately, quick usually means processed, sugary, or salty. But when you take a few minutes to plan ahead, even just mentally, you give yourself the power to choose health over habit. That choice, repeated daily, becomes your new normal. And if you've ever felt like your energy dips after meals, or your joints feel inflamed for no reason, consider this: some of the most common comfort foods are secretly aging you faster. White bread, sugary cereals, fried snacks. These don't just add weight. They increase inflammation, spike your blood sugar, and drain your energy. The fix isn't giving up everything you love. It's swapping those foods for better versions. Brown rice instead of white. Roasted sweet potatoes instead of fries. Olive oil instead of butter. Small switches, big impact. But here's something that's just as important as what you eat: who you connect with. Loneliness is a silent killer. It doesn't just hurt your heart, it literally weakens your immune system, raises your risk for Alzheimer's, and shortens your lifespan. But connection? Real, meaningful connection? That heals. So let's talk about the power of daily social engagement. Now, I know not everyone has family dropping by every day, or a house full of grandchildren. But connection doesn't need to be complicated. A 5-minute call to a friend. A chat with your neighbor. A quick visit to the local coffee shop. Even smiling at someone while you're on a walk, it all adds up. It reminds your brain that you're part of something bigger, that you matter, that you're seen. Don't wait for people to reach out to you. Be the one who reaches out. Even just texting someone and saying, "Hey, thinking of you today," can change not only their day, but yours. And if you're someone who spends a lot of time alone, start a simple routine, one connection a day. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be real. And here's the thing most people forget: relationships are like muscles. If you don't use them, they shrink. But if you show up, even a little each day, they grow stronger. That connection keeps your mind sharper, your emotions more stable, and your sense of purpose alive. It's not just about living longer. It's about feeling like life is worth living. Speaking of purpose, there's another powerful daily habit that often gets overlooked, and it's this: doing something that brings you joy. Not for your spouse. Not for your kids. Not for anyone else. Just for you. Maybe it's tending to your garden. Painting. reading a good book, listening to music, writing in a journal, or even just sitting with a warm cup of tea and watching the birds in your backyard. These moments, small as they may seem, feed your soul. They remind you that joy doesn't end after 60, it changes form, but it's still there, waiting for you to claim it. Too often, people think they're too old for hobbies, or they feel guilty taking time for themselves. But here's the truth, doing something that lights you up isn't selfish. It's essential. Joy is fuel. It fights stress, lowers blood pressure, improves sleep, and boosts immunity. And most importantly, it gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning with a spark in your heart. Don't wait for life to bring you happiness. Go out and make space for it, even in the smallest of ways. The act of doing something meaningful, even for just 10 minutes, can lift your entire day. And those days, stacked one on top of the other, become a life well lived. These aren't just habits. They're choices. And every choice you make tells your body and your mind, I'm still here. I'm still growing. I still matter. That message, repeated every day, becomes the strongest medicine of all. We've already covered some powerful habits: staying hydrated, moving your body, eating nutrient-dense foods, connecting with others, and making time for joy. But there's one more essential piece to your longevity blueprint, and this one might surprise you. It's all about sleep. Yes, you heard me right. Sleep is more than just rest. It's recovery, it's repair, and it's rejuvenation, and it's just as vital as any of the habits we've discussed so far. As we age, sleep can become more elusive. Maybe you find yourself waking up earlier than you'd like, or waking up in the middle of the night and struggling to fall back asleep. It's not uncommon. But getting quality sleep is one of the simplest and most effective ways to improve your health, boost your mood, and keep your body functioning at its best. Here's the thing, when you sleep, your body does its best work. Your immune system gets a reboot, your cells repair themselves, and your brain processes the day's memories. In fact, deep sleep is crucial for memory retention and mental clarity. Without enough sleep, everything, your mood, your energy, your cognitive function, suffers. So, what can you do to ensure better sleep? Start by setting a consistent bedtime. Yes, even on weekends. When you go to bed at the same time each night, you train your body's internal clock to expect rest at a certain time, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. And speaking of sleep, your environment matters more than you might think. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, cool, dark, and quiet. No screens. No distractions. Just rest. If you find that you wake up in the middle of the night or early in the morning, try not to stress about it. Instead of looking at the clock, focus on relaxing your breathing and calming your mind. If you still can't fall back asleep, get up and do something calming, like reading or listening to soothing music, until you feel sleepy again. The key here is to remove the pressure to sleep. Often, the more you try to force sleep, the harder it becomes. Good sleep isn't a luxury, it's a cornerstone of longevity. When you prioritize rest, you're giving your body the chance to repair, regenerate, and replenish its energy stores. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day? Now, we've talked a lot about habits that focus on your body, your physical health, your movement, your nutrition. But one thing I want to mention before we wrap up is the power of mindfulness, specifically, mindfulness in how you handle stress. Stress is often considered a normal part of life, especially as we age, but chronic stress can wreak havoc on your health. It can lead to high blood pressure, poor digestion, and even mental health challenges. But here's the good news, you can control how stress impacts you. Mindfulness is all about being present, paying attention to the moment you're in, and not allowing your mind to spiral into the past or the future. One of the easiest ways to practice mindfulness is through deep breathing. I'm not talking about complicated yoga poses or long meditation sessions. Just a few deep, slow breaths throughout your day can make a world of difference. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, then exhale slowly for 4. Do this for a minute or 2 whenever you feel tension creeping in. It's a simple technique, but it's a powerful one. Mindfulness doesn't stop with your breathing, it extends to your thoughts. Instead of stressing over the past or worrying about the future, try to focus on what's happening right now. When you shift your mindset from anxious thinking to the present moment, you reduce the mental clutter that contributes to stress. This, in turn, helps lower your cortisol levels, improves your mood, and supports your overall well-being. You'll start to notice that even in moments of pressure, you can stay calm, collected, and in control. This next habit might seem like it belongs more to the mental category, but it has such a strong physical impact, it deserves its own spotlight: setting and achieving small goals. No matter how old you are, setting goals gives your life direction and purpose. But it's not about setting huge, overwhelming goals that feel out of reach. It's about setting goals that are simple, achievable, and meaningful to you. Maybe it's walking a little farther each day, or learning how to bake a new recipe. It could be signing up for a class or volunteering in your community. The key to longevity is not just about adding years to your life, it's about making each year meaningful. And when you set small, realistic goals, you create a sense of achievement that boosts your confidence and keeps your mind engaged. Plus, every time you reach a goal, even a small one, it sends a signal to your brain that says, "I'm still capable, I'm still moving forward." And that feeling of accomplishment? It's good for your body, your mind, and your spirit. And before we finish, let's talk about one final thing that can radically improve your longevity and overall health: positivity. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. This is about choosing to focus on what's going well, not just what's going wrong. Studies show that people who have a positive outlook on life tend to live longer, healthier lives. Why? Because positivity reduces stress, improves heart health, and strengthens the immune system. Cultivate positivity by starting each day with a gratitude practice. It could be as simple as writing down 3 things you're thankful for, or saying them out loud to yourself in the mirror. When you shift your focus to what you appreciate about life, you naturally become more resilient in the face of challenges. And remember, your mindset shapes your experience. The more you choose to see the good in life, even in small moments, the more your body will respond by staying healthier and stronger. So, there you have it, 7 daily habits that can make all the difference in your journey to live longer and stronger. Hydration, movement, nutrition, connection, sleep, mindfulness, positivity. Each of these habits, when woven into your daily routine, adds up to more than just longevity. It adds up to a life that's vibrant, fulfilling, and full of purpose, no matter your age. I hope you feel inspired to start making these simple changes today. Remember, it's never too late to take charge of your health and well-being. Every small step you take today creates a foundation for tomorrow, and the more you prioritize your health, the longer and better you'll live. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What habit are you excited to start today? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more tips on living your best life after 60. Here's to living longer, stronger, and happier, one day at a time.